Hey, you guys, I'm back with another review. Yay! I'm so proud of myself for sticking it through. You just don't know. Your girl but it's not about that. I'm just glad to be back. And sometimes I could be a little extra, as you see. But I want to get into this next topic. And did I say next topic? Okay, the next topic is on Carter Pearson. Okay, I was just washing dishes one day, looking at Netflix, and because I'm always on Netflix now. And so I was just trying to find me a movie while I'm cleaning up the kitchen and everything else. So I was like, this guy, he moving like Carter Pearson. That's Carter Pearson haircut. Let me look into this information. Coming to find out, it was about Carter Pearson. If you don't know who Carter Pearson is, I don't know if it was Church of God in Christ or whatever. All I know is that I was introduced to Carlton Pearson through my aunt, okay? Steph is what I call her. And every time, my aunt was just a type, like when it comes to gospel, my family is very like into gospel, gospel music. My mom was a musician. Some people in my family, my cousins is musicians and everything else. So, and my aunt one of my aunts is a director. One can really sing. The other one, she's a strong alto. Steph is a strong alto. I'm a strong alto. Okay, shout out to the toes. But we were into this kind of thing, Azusa. Okay, and Azusa was, I want to say, like a conference convention type of feel, okay, that it was held in, I want to say, like stadiums, okay. That's how much of an influence Carter Pearson was. And it's just so funny because the people at my job, I was like, y'all don't know about Carter Pearson? I'm a soldier, okay. Like, how you don't know that? If I die, let me die. Like that. But I don't want to die today. But I'm just saying, I was like giving them so many other references, but they didn't know. So I was like, okay, child, I can't educate y'all on Carter Pearson right now, but I get with y'all later. So I've been really wanting to see what happened with him because people say, oh, he crazy. Oh, Carter Pearson is my auntie. I can't say everybody, but my aunt was like, y'all heard about Carter Pearson? He went crazy. He don't believe it. It's a heaven or hell. He don't believe. And I was like, he went crazy? Because I'm young. I didn't know any of this stuff like law of attractions and all this other stuff. So I want to say like 2 years ago, I went into looking into Carter Pearson because I love Carter Pearson. He can preach. He has an ambiance. He has a presence with himself. He's so charming. Carter have that pitch. He was the man. He's still the man to me. So it was interesting and it was so heartbreaking. And I don't want to cry about it, but I did not like how the church did Carlton. Basically, this movie was just showing you about what happened when the church got involved when he started going a different direction. He said that he heard from God and that, nobody was going to hell. It was everything that what he was preaching, he felt like it was wrong. And I just recently saw an interview on what he was just saying. Basically, people live to a certain standard. When you're dealing with church, you live with the facade of what they want you to be instead of being true to thine own self, which is so sad and heartbreaking that the church is like that. And how I look at church like it's just, I don't want to say it's a game or anything like that, but it's so sad because so many leaders use it to keep the people oppressed and to take their money. It's just like a gimmick, a big joke at the end of the day. And church shouldn't feel like that. And it's about controlling the people. If you notice, when politicians want to get the black community on board with stuff, who do they go to? They don't, I never seen them come to the school. I see them come to the church. I've seen them. I've been in church where politicians will come through there and be like, well, I'm trying to talk to the people, whatever, because they know that people take their pastors very serious. Like, they have the belief, like, next to the president, well, I don't want to use our president, but I'm just saying, like, pastors are just a very, what I want to say, a great influence in the black community. So, by him doing, it was okay to do the program how they felt, but when he started going in a different direction, instead of getting with him or whatever, they wanted to put him on trial, and then they want to say, well, are you sure that's from God? And it's like, why you just can't get behind him and just say, well, you know what, I'm gonna see what it's about, or was it was just like, that's not how we have it. This is not our program, and this is our beliefs. And if you're not a part of this, then we're gonna take your church. That's what it felt like. Like, it was so heartbreaking when one guy was like, yeah, my daddy, he beat my mama and everything else, and he went to hell. He beat me. And Carlton asked him, well, if you could pull him out of hell, would you? I can't answer that. Why you can't? Because a lot of people like to believe what they want to believe, and afraid to believe something that may be a little different. I've always been different. I've always challenged things in the Bible. That's just who I am as a kid, because some things as a kid, you like, that don't make sense. Like, okay, in Genesis, it showed that Adam and Eve was created. Okay, they had some kids, Cain and Abel, and then one of them left or whatever, and then he met a wife. Where did the wife come from? Because I thought it was just Adam and Eve and their kids. Where did he go off to a land where there was other reproduction going on? Where there's somebody the same age or maybe younger, and he got with the girl and they smashed and they reproduced. Like, it's like so many loopholes in the Bible that as a kid, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened with this? Wait a minute. And it's just like so many things. And as a kid, we were always told in our household, and my grandmother, my mom always say, study yourself, approves to show yourself approved. In other words, don't just believe what people telling you. Read it for yourself. But then it's like, well, some things they leaving out, and I feel like they leaving it out on purpose, and I want to know. So I'm going into saying that I just didn't like how they did him. It was so sad, and it was like kind of, I was getting a little emotional because it was like, because he had his own way of thinking. They just show you how much religion have control. And I just recently, sometimes my family think I'm radical of the things that I bring up and all this other stuff, put things on their mind. I say, isn't it funny how we have so many gods? We have so many religions, but we have one devil. Why is that? Nobody could ever give me the right. Everybody just kind of stand like, like, that do make sense. I'm just like, why? Why is it that? And they say, well, gods have many names, but we serve on the one God. Okay, well, we only got one devil. And sometimes we call him Satan, and sometimes we call him Lucifer, but he's still the same person. But we split up into all these different religions, but we all identify with the same devil. Isn't that weird? Like, this don't be on people's mind, and I get it. And I know sometimes people like to believe what they want to believe because it's insurance for them. Like, no, it can't be like this. I gotta believe it this way because just in case I die, I want to say I did believe, and I really feel like that's why people do it, because it's like insurance backing for them. I don't know. Maybe I'm by myself on that, but I just felt like church is supposed to be a place where you're supposed to get healed. It's supposed to be like a place that, could take you in, a homestead to me. When it comes to spiritual and things, if you get in the world, you can go to the church and everything else, but it's just like church is not it's not represented in how I felt like it should be. And I know that I'm not the only person who actually think that about the church. It's just a big fiasco. Okay. And it was just really sad. It was good, and it just showed like some people that roll with him to the end, and then a lot of people. He lost a lot of people. Like, this man lost his church. He lost his furniture inside his church. He had to rebuild, all because he stood on a belief that he felt like God spoke to him. And I was just like, that's what I'm saying about the church. They something else. But I admire his strength. I admire his courage. And I just admire Carlton Pearson for just really like, you know what, I had it all wrong. And I'm going to stand on my truth, because so many people don't want to stand on their truth. Some people like to be comfortable. They don't want to get out their uncomfortable, the uncomfort of their home, or get out of their comfort zone, and everything else. Because how many people would have willing to continue to say, I'm gonna step out on faith, and I know God got me, and I'm just gonna do this, whatever. No matter what they say, that I could lose everything tomorrow, but I'm gonna gain this back and everything else. And we're not talking about a pastor who only had 200 members. Like, he had thousands. He was a major influence into the gospel world. Okay, so I don't know if you all caught it on Netflix. It's called Come Sunday. Check it out. And I want to hear from you guys. And if you have watched it, what were your thoughts on the show? I mean, on the movie as well. But until then, I holla.